Hello crafters, in tonight's video we're going to be making a birthday card using the Blueberry Bushels Cling Stamp set. And we're also going to go over on how to add color to our card using a blending brush. Hi, I'm Joan Heberlein and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I created this video for Joan Simple Paper Crafts found right here on YouTube. If you're new here, I want to thank you for stopping by. If you're a returning guest, welcome back. Be sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. That way you won't miss when I post a video, which is typically once a week. Now give me a few seconds to turn the camera down and we'll get started. This is the card we're going to make tonight using the Blueberry Bunches Cling Stamp set. And we're going to use this stamp, and this stamp. The paper we're going to need for that is BASIC GREY CARDSTOCK, and it's cut at 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, or that's 14 centimeters by 21.6 centimeters. And I have it scored at 4.25 inches or 10.8 centimeters. And I'm just going to fold and burnish this. And I like to burnish it on both sides to give it a nice crisp edge. And then the next piece we need is Blueberry Bushel, and that is cut at 4 inches by 5.25 inches, or 10.2 centimeters by 13.3 centimeters. And we're just going to glue that down here. And let me get this out. So we use the multi-purpose glue, but I have it in this glue gun. This is called My Sweet Petunia. It's not a Stampin' Up! Product. I'm using it because I have arthritis and I can't grip this glue bottle anymore. But luckily it contains the glue that we use here. So I'm going to glue this down. Let me get my silicone mat here so that I don't mess up the work surface. It's nothing like having your card stick to the work surface. I like how this glues. You can get a continuous stream there. Or you can do little dots. I'm not even squeezing it right now. That's just what was there. Now I'm just doing a little bit of dots there. Very nice. And I'm going to have a card on the front of this. So I want to make sure I've got enough there to hold that down in place. And we're going to put it on here. And we'll have it at 1/8 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides. And that's going to be 0.3 centimeters. Now our next piece is a piece of old olive cardstock cut at 3.75 inches by 5 inches. And we're not going to do anything with that right now. I'm just going to set it aside. And then the next piece will be our blue again. So that's our Blueberry Bushel. And that's cut at 3.25 inches by 4.5 inches. Or 8.3 centimeters by 11.4 centimeters. And I'm just going to glue that down into the center of this card, the inside of the card. And that's going to give me about 1/2 inch for a border on all 4 sides. Then we need our piece of basic white, and we want to stamp that with our sentiment. And I'm going to put that aside for right now because I want to do this one instead. This short one, it's been cut at 2.75 inches by 3.25 inches. And that's 7 centimeters by 8.3 centimeters. So this is going to be this piece here. And I'm going to use my Blueberry Bushel ink to do that. And let me get a piece of paper out, put it down for the background. And we'll do that. And I'm going to open up my Blueberry Bushel. Hopefully I don't get it all over me. And then we're just going to take one of our blending brushes. And I have 3 here I want to show you. This one here, you can see that was obviously blue at one time. And then this one is kind of gray. What I did is when I got done using it, I used my Stampin' Scrub to clean it by, rubbing it in the Stampin' Scrub. And it pulled the ink that was in the Stampin' Scrub and turned it gray. So I wouldn't recommend using that to clean it. So what you could do is just use your paper, and I'll show you that once we get to that point. And this is a clean brush here that I had done red on there, and as you can see, there's hardly any red. And what I did is I used water to run through this and get the ink out. So we'll do that with our brush today. So I'm going to just load it up, and I'm going to go off the paper a little bit, and I'm going to just do this corner here and bring it in gradually. And I found that I really didn't have to do much more than loading it up the one time, because it's a strong blue, and it's letting me, fade it out right from this point here. I probably shouldn't have loaded it up quite so much, but there we go. So now what you could do is just rub this until it's clean. And it takes a while to get that ink out. I really loaded this up, didn't I? So there's nothing coming out of that. The other thing you can do is drop it in some water until you're done, and then take it to the sink and rinse it out. And that's what I'm going to do, because I like to get my brushes pretty much to their normal color before I continue. I think that must be my ADHD tendencies. So what we do next is we're going to stamp the hello there onto that first, and then we'll stamp the sending the bunches of birthday wishes on this as well. And the reason I want to do both of those at the same time is because we're going to emboss those. So let me go ahead and get that ready. And as you can see, the last time I used this, I didn't clean my stamp, so I got this all dirty, but I do have a brand new one that I could use if I wanted to, but I might as well use this because I'm going to just use black embossing powder anyways, and then it kind of lets me see where the stamp was left off. And let me get the embossing powder ready. So I'm going to just get a little ink on there. And we'll just put some embossing powder on here. And I forgot, I need to use the embossing buddy, so I'll do that in the next one. That allows to get the static out of this. Although it's humid enough here, I don't think there's going to be any static. We've had rain almost every day for a week now. It's some type of rain. And this came from our kit in the catalog, where you get a brush, you get a tray, and you get tweezers to hold it. And I can't find my tweezers right now. So here with this, and then you get an embossing buddy. I'm going to do the next one real quick before I close up. So this is one of the embossing buddies. Nope. Let's see, right here it is. Thought I had everything laid out, but apparently not. I like to lay it out because I have difficulties. I don't have the dexterity in my fingers anymore. Some of that has to do with just old age, but so I've just rubbed that on here, and then I'm just going to tap off the excess, and then we're going to stamp this with our stamp. I should bring out my rubber tray so that we don't have all that clicking noise. I just want to make sure I've got that all set up right. There we go. There, and I overstamped it. So I'm going to just knock it off right there and there. Okay. And then I'm just going to get this on here. Kind of want to get it centered. So you can barely see it. That's mostly because of having that ink contaminated with black ink. Okay. So this one's ready to go too. So I'm going to cover this so it doesn't get blown with my hot air gun. And I'm going to cover this as well. Before I go, I'm going to stamp off and then stamp and scrub this one and this one. And here's my stamp and scrub here. And I'm going to use the Stampin' Mist on here, and I've already sprayed it. All right, we're going to start with our gun here. And I've got this one right here. I'm going to turn it on high to get this done. And I just keep moving it. And when you see it start to shine, that means it's done. So the hello is done and the there is almost done. Okay, that one's done. And then we're going to do this one next. And let me switch the grippy thing to here. I start on the back, keep moving it. And this is already somewhat warmed up, so it shouldn't take as long. And see, when you start on the back, it kind of folds it one way. And then when you go on the front, it folds it back the other way. And this is done. Now I got to get my S. All right. I don't know if you heard me. When you do it on the back, it'll start curving it one way. The paper will curve one way. And then when you come around to the front, it kind of makes it go flat again. And I didn't brush this off before I started, but it doesn't look too bad. So we're going to take this and we're going to put it on our card base. Let me see, where was that? Right here. I'm going to glue it onto here. I want to make sure this is done. It needs a few seconds to cool off before you touch that. And the paper's just a little bit warped, so I am just going to put a little more glue on there than what I normally do. And then we're going to put it down here, leaving 1/4 of an inch for a border. So that's 0.6 centimeters. And you know what? Got it there crooked. So I'm going to bring it back up. And I'm going to add some more glue to it because of the warping. Okay. Sorry if my head's in the way. Looks a little bit better, and I'm going to just take my bone folder and I'm going to go across the back of it because I don't want to scrape off the embossing image that's there. And I'm just going to take my brush and brush the powder because I have some powder on my work surface that I forgot about. So let me get that off from here before we go any further. Okay, that's taken care of. Now what we need to do next is we need to glue this onto here. So this is our Old Olive, which is cut at 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches, or 9.5 centimeters by 12.7 centimeters. And then we're going to take this piece here and we're going to glue that down, leaving about 1/2 inch for a border on the top and the right and left hand side. And this one I definitely want to get all the glue on there. You could have used the Seal and Seal Plus. That would have worked too. And let's see if we can't get this down flat. And then I'm going to fold it over, or turn it over, and use my boning tool again. So next we're going to stamp this with the Blueberry Bushel. So I just use this Stampin' Buddy to knock off any static. And we'll bring it back in here. So we're going to just stamp it on the left bottom hand side. I was making sure that I didn't have it going on to the words there, and I wanted to have the leaf be on all of the green down there. Hopefully I got it. I'm really making a mess of this, aren't I? Yeah. Just brushing off any strays. Some of those strays were from before when I stamped the sentiment on here. All right, I think that's good. And I'm going to just knock this off from here. Put it right back in there. I want to get this tray back on here before powder goes all over the place. And I'm going to clean this off too before it dries on. And I want to clean this off because I see a little powder on there even. Okay. And we're just going to do the same thing as we did before and keep this up. A little bit of a curve on there. So let's see if we can't get it to flatten out a little bit. So what we'll do next is we'll glue that on here. And I am going to take a little bit of Seal Plus to get it to glue down in the middle. So this is Seal Plus. And the rest we'll do with the regular glue. I'm a liquid glue person, but there's certain things you just need to step it up a little bit. And then we're going to put it on here, and we'll leave 1/4 of an inch, no, 1/8 of an inch for a border. And we had to make sure we set it down in the right spot because of that Seal Plus sticks right away. We don't want to lift it and reposition it. And I'm just rubbing it here, and I'm going to go with my bone folder on the back side. All right, I think we've got it. Before you go, I want to talk about our latest promotion. It's our bundle sale. Take an extra 10% off stamps and die bundles between June 5th and June 30th. That's a total of 20% discount on the stamp and die bundles. This is a great time to tick off your favorite items from the new annual catalog while enjoying extra savings. Plus, save 10% off stamps, cut and emboss machines, and the mini stamp cut and emboss machines. Make precise cuts and easy creative elements for all your crafts. I hope you like this project as much as I did. As you can see, it would work great with just about any sentiment stamp set. Why don't you give it a try? Now, if you enjoyed today's video, would you do me 2 favors? Click the thumbs up emoji, which means you like it, and would you share it on social media with your crafting friends and pin it to Pinterest? These actions will help me to keep sharing my ideas with other crafters for free, and I'd really appreciate that. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any future videos. If you have any questions, be sure to contact me. I'm here to help in any way that I can. And if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Just reach out to me. If you'd like to place a Stampin' Up! Order or like a catalog, hop over to my website where you'll find the Shop Now button. To shop with me, you'll need to go to joanheberlein.stampinup.net. Mark your calendars. I'll be back in 2 weeks on Sunday, June 23rd at 7 p.m. Central Time. And we'll be doing something from the new annual catalog, and I hope you'll be here to join me. Thanks so much for being here with me tonight, and I look forward to next time. Bye for now, and don't forget to subscribe.